Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Robert Sports. I'm your host, Robert. All right. As the truckers are up in Lime Rock Park making left and right turns, the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series is down in Hotlanta at Echo Park Speedway. Race 21 of the 2026 schedule. I am 13-7 on those picks in the first 20 races. This is the 41st race for the O'Reilly Series at Hotlanta. Now, we got the Focused Health 250, 251.02 miles, 163 laps around the, been a few years now, repaved, reconfig, Atlanta Motor Speedway, 3 stages of 45, 45, and 73. Now, with the repave, reconfig, it's been more like a drafting track than it has been, at least in the Cup side, than it has been an intermediate. I think in the O'Reilly Series, they use a different package as well. I think this track is worn out enough that we need to go back and make it a truly intermediate package. So the same package we run at Charlotte, Kansas, Vegas, we need to run in Atlanta. I think that's going to change the racing for the better. This is my opinion. Make it a little harder to drive. Now, the last 16 winners at Atlanta. This goes back to the old config too. So the last 16 races in the O'Reilly Series. The winner has qualified in the top 5, 13 of 16. Qualifying is later on this morning, so we'll know if that's going to fall again. And then we know Big Country, Austin Hill, won 5 of the last 8. 3 of the last 6 winners also qualified second. So 13 of 16 winners qualified in the top 5. 3 of the last 6 winners qualified second on the outside of the front row. And Old Big Country's won 5 of 8. Now, no matter which side you're on of what happened on Sunday in the Cup Series race between Austin Hill and Shane Van Gisbergen, if you're on the side that Shane should have been penalized, or if you're on the side that's racing to get over it, you picked a side. I'm on the side NASCAR did the right thing. There wasn't enough, I think, on Shane Van Gisbergen's side to say, okay, this should be a penalty. It wasn't like we had the throttle chase of yes, the one thing I think Steve Letarte put it out, they showed the throttle. He was like a little bit deeper in the corner. If you look the way he drove that corner, he drove in high and kind of diamonded it. That could have called for that. It wasn't like there was a sudden just left turn like, when I think when Chase took out Denny at Charlotte. When there's just a hook, there's definite, obviously that's what that was. Do we feel this is what that was? Possible. Do we think that Big Country had it coming because of the way he's raced Shane in a few other races? Possibly. Shane's not in this race, thankfully, for Austin Hill, but you never know what's going to happen on Sunday. But Austin Hill, 6.33 average finish in the last 9 races. At Atlanta Motor Speedway, Echo Park Speedway, 5 wins in that time. Jesse Love, 9.0 average finish. Brandon Jones, 14.44. Jeff Burton, 15.78. Sammy Smith, 15.86. Sheldon Creed, 17.01 in that win back in the spring. Parker Retzloff, 18.0. Sam Mayer, 18.0. And Jeremy Clements, 18.78. During that time, those 9 races, Jesse Love, average finish of 5.26. Austin Hill, 7.49. Or average running position, Taylor Gray, 10.78. Carson Kvapil, 11.04. Nick Sanchez, 12.99. He'll be in the 87 for Peterson Racing, taking over for Austin Green at this race. Sheldon Creed, 13.37. Sammy Smith, 13.54. Jess Nagar, 13.74. And Brandon Jones, 13.97. Now, in the last 3 races at Echo Park Speedway, Nick Sanchez, average finish 3.0 and a win. Austin Hill, 5 races. Austin Hill, 8.2 and 3 wins. Jesse Love, 9.0, average finish. Brandon Jones, 12.0. Sheldon Creed, 15.2 in that win. During those 5 races, average running position, Jesse Love, 5.26. Austin Hill, 9.30. Taylor Gray, 10.78. Carson Kvapil, 11.04, and Sheldon Creed, 12.74. Now, the last 2 races, Nick Sanchez is also leading with 2.0 average finish and a win. We know he won a couple years ago in the 48 for Big Machine Racing. Corey Day, 4.0 average finish. He's only one race. He finished 4th. Sam Mayer, 5.0. Jesse Love, 5.5. Taylor Gray, 7.0. Now, in those 2 races, average running position, Jesse Love, 6.15. Roger Caruth, 6.27. And Taylor Gray, 8.51. Now, we are 20 races down of 24 races in the regular season. Justin Allgaier has clinched a spot in the chase. Remember, the top 12 make it. He's got the 5 wins. He's got a 415-point lead over the cut line and a 195-point lead over second place. So Jesse Love is second place with a minus 195, but he's plus 222 to the cut line. So Jesse Love is sitting in a really good spot right now. Corey Day with those 2 big wins, plus 191. Sheldon Creed with that win back in Atlanta in the spring, plus 190. Big Country, Austin Hill, his 2 wins. Got the second one there at Coronado. He is plus 160. Brendan Jones, last week's winner, plus 150. Carson Kvapil, plus 147. Sammy Smith, plus 119. Parker Retzloff, plus 73. Just outperforming his equipment there for Parker, which is absolutely amazing. Sam Mayer, plus 66. Taylor Gray with a win, plus 52. Brent Cruz, minus 44. And then the first one out, William Swallowich with a win, minus 44. Now we have 3 Joe Gibbs Racing cars, 11th, 12th, and 13th. Of the big 4 in the O'Reilly Series, Roger Caruth is minus 48 there for Junior Motorsports. Now he's been bouncing between Junior Motorsports and Jordan Anderson Racing as well. And I bring this up because of I caught some snippets of the Tommy Joe Martins talking about Xfinity Series and whatnot, and the big teams, and drivers not performing, and his team being able, Alpha Prime being able to run top 15 or so. And I got kind of looking at it. I'm like, I don't know what the fix is for that. I mean, okay, if you're William Swallowich and you're the worst of the 4 cars that are junior at Joe Gibbs Racing, should you be able to ride next year because you're the worst of the 4? What's our expectations of these big teams? Roger Caruth, he's 14th points. Well, he's only been part-time in Junior Motorsports, but he's been part-time in Jordan Anderson Racing. Does he get a pass for that? Or, okay, he's the worst of the group, so he needs to be replaced. That's what I took from the snippets that I saw on X. So I'm not sure. I understand that small teams can't run with big boys, but what's the fix? What's the idea behind that? So I'm gonna go find the whole thing and watch it, I think, and see, because I wasn't understanding what the point was. The big teams have always ran well. Even in the Cup Series before we had charters, the cream rises to the top. The people that are able to spend more money go to the top, just like when you have our LS Series, just like in the Truck Series. So that's always been a thing in racing. Ryan Sieg, minus 75. I think he has an outside shot if he could possibly pull a win or 2 off. I don't see that happening. He's currently 15th. He's, as Tommy Joe Martin would say, he's the best of the rest. The only kind of outlier in that was Parker Retzloff in Viking Motorsports. He's 9th in points. Otherwise, the top 13 to the top 14 are the big teams: Junior Motorsports, Joe Gibbs Racing, Hendrick, and Richard Childress. Which I would the Hendrick 17 car, I would it's almost part of JRM, I think. But the big teams, that's it. The Cup teams. Which I think we need to have teams like that in your O'Reilly Series. That's going to give that better equipment. So you're going to have the Justin Allgaiers, the Jesse Loves up front. You're going to have those premier rides available. So when Jesse Love goes to the Cup Series next year, when Austin Hill possibly goes to the Cup Series next year, you have 2 cars there in the Tier 1 team open for maybe a Parker Retzloff, maybe for an Anthony Alfredo, maybe for Carson Brown, something like that. So, and then Anthony Alfredo is 16th points, minus 136. Brandon Poole, the Alpha Prime #1 car, is 17th points, minus 161. Dean Thompson, 18th, minus 183. All right, the 4 picks to win at the Focus Health 250 at NASCAR Rally Series race at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Obviously, I'm going with some of the bigger teams here. I'm going with Austin Hill and Jesse Love for Mercedes Racing. We know they run well in these kind of style of races. We know Big Country runs really well here. Tomorrow, on the instance, that may be a different story, but we'll see what happens there. And then Corey Day and Sheldon Creed. Not a Sheldon Creed fan at all. He's one of 4 drivers that I dislike. And over a recent podcast that went from 3 to 4. And so, there's that reason I'm Team Carson. So Sheldon Creed, Corey Day, Jesse Love, and Austin Hill are the 4 picks. I think Sheldon knows how to win here. He did it in the spring. I think he can come back. We know Austin Hill and Jesse Love. Corey Day has always ran well. I know he is kind of that next guy up when it comes to moving up the Cup. I think probably 28 would be good for him. Another full season, Rally Series next year. And then 2028, if there's a ride available at Hendrick Motorsports, I can see Corey Day taking that. As always, thanks for watching our Sports Show. Don't just have a great day. Have a spiffy day. Rubber Sports Show, your YouTube leader in sports sound content.